I would always look forward to my New York City shows because Alex would always come through with the craziest customizations, unofficially jailbreak, unlock the phone, so everything
jailbreak.
Signed jersey, NBA player, baseball player.
Shoes that Kobe wore in his last game.
Yeah.
I used to be a huge Pokémon collector. Certainly top 10 in the world.
No way.
And potentially top 5.
All right, welcome to Extraordinary, the most extraordinary podcast in the world. Today, we've got a very special guest. His name is Alex Fung. He does everything to an extraordinary level, from collectibles to sneakers to phones. There's nothing that you don't know a lot about and can't do extremely well. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
Very excited to ask you many questions.
Oh, okay. You guys should just ask me and then I'll spit it out because...
Yeah, where do we start? I mean, you do so many different things. What are you most passionate about? I know you help a lot of people. You're the guy for a lot of people, you know? A lot of people have a sneaker guy. You're the sneaker guy for people. Or like...
Is that the main collectible?
No, it's not actually. You know, I originally started with phones, and going back with Steve, I was actually fixing phones for musicians. And the way I started with that is I loved the music
You were fixing phones.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
This is before Apple was even fixing phones. So I mean, it even goes...
So we're talking about fixing flip phones?
Well, I was going BlackBerry, Sidekick days. T-Mobile, Sidekick days.
Dude, I'm a big Sidekick guy.
Okay, I'm so sorry that I didn't bring my iPhone BlackBerry keyboard.
The Sidekick that
tonight.
popped out? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Pushed it
so
with your
basically
thumb?
BlackBerry before, that was the thing.
Right,
Sidekicks
right.
were before iPhone. But BlackBerry actually just came out with something called Clicks, which is basically a keyboard for your iPhone. I really wish I brought mine today.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah,
It's a new thing?
It's brand new.
BlackBerry's still around?
Yes. Well, BlackBerry no longer around, but they developed a way to still have that feel of the BlackBerry keyboard. Oh man, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, that's actually how I knew Alex. He would fix my phones before. I was like, that was like my Sidekick days when I had a Sidekick.
Yes.
You come
This is
through
when
and
you were in LA?
This was before LA.
Way before
This
LA,
was Miami days.
Yeah.
So you lived in Miami?
No, New York.
okay.
He was always
born and raised in New York.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so it started originally Psychic Days, and I used to actually advertise myself on Craigslist. And I was...
You're old school.
Old school.
It's really old school to the point where I ended up doing wholesaling for T-Mobile, having a T-Mobile store, doing the activations, all the way to fixing phones, and then iPhone comes out, and then everyone's... I'm like, I don't think I'm going to jump to that touchscreen feel. I like that Sidekick feel. I like the BlackBerry feel. And then iPhone comes out. I'm like, all right. So I started learning. I have a mentor in New York City who's been repairing computers for pretty much for the longer, 30 years or so. And he taught me how to do the repairing as far as getting certification going. And then I was like, all right, this could be a full-fledged business. So I started customizing iPhones while it was popular. So
What does that mean, customizing?
Changing different colors. So when
Before anyone else could do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was originally like that.
So you're taking them apart and customizing.
Yeah, so it's more personal feeling at that point. So it was black and white first of all, it was black first, and then they offered the white version, and then different customization kits, different glass, green, red, blue, yellow, and then what's your favorite color? And I would do that. And then it transitioned into working on tour.
How much are you making on that kind of stuff?
It was decent amount, but I was trying
phone.
to. Yeah, I mean, at 300 a phone.
Okay.
Depending.
I remember I would always look forward to my New York City shows because Alex would always come through.
Yeah.
And he would come through with the craziest customizations for the phones, for
Yes.
anything, always hook it up or like unofficially jailbreak or like just
unlock-
get you the
un-
unlock the
God,
phone
dude.
so everything
Jailbreak.
Jailbreak
You can do
is so that
everything.
your iPhone can play Nintendo.
Right.
So originally, you
Wait,
could.
so how'd you learn how to jailbreak
man.
a phone?
There was so many things. I mean, there was a program that you can run to just make sure that the phone can use it. Like it was just
Different service,
different
before.
everything. Because it started with just lock to AT&T.
Yeah.
And then you wanted to figure out how can T-Mobile users use it.
Right.
So
He was the guy. He was the guy.
It's
exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
There's too much.
iPhone only used to
starting
be
like old
AT&T.
school days.
I haven't heard
Yeah.
the word jailbreak.
Yeah.
So that used to be a thing.
Well,
That used to be like-
AT&T had a monopoly on it. So
Yeah.
AT&T was like, if you had an iPhone, it had to be
Be
AT&T
AT&T.
service unless
Yeah.
you knew Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was one of the first to unlock them, and use them for T-Mobile. But the problem is that you would unlock the phone, and then if you updated the phone, then you would lose the unlock. So it
I
wasn't
forgot
a
about
true
that. Yeah,
factory
that's true.
unlock,
Right,
all right?
right,
But you
right.
was able to use the T-Mobile service, and then it went from 3G, 4G, and then eventually they started you know, it's actually probably
Yeah.
like iPhone 5 or so when
That they opened
started-
it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, but
Dude, that was such a smart move by AT&T. I had the first iPhone ever. And I remember I actually bought the stock of Apple
wow,
2 years before the iPhone came out. And because I was like,
You had that foresight.
I was like, this thing is going to be able to do anything
Yeah.
that I like. And I remember, I was in high school. I think this was 2005. And I was thinking to myself that my iPhone would be able to open my garage door. That was like the thing that I thought that my iPhone would be able to do. And that's why I was like invested in the stock. And it was,
Interesting.
obviously a home run.
perfect.
But
I wish I did too.
Yeah.
It's crazy now. If we just kept our sealed iPhone, just kept one, they're worth so much right now.
yeah.
Oh,
I think
first
there was over
generation.
100.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first
first
generation. I mean, anything sealed, you're buying back your nostalgia, and that's
Yeah,
what it is.
true.
Like, as it's progressing.
So he said that you do everything, collect all this stuff. What is that next thing that we should keep sealed?
oh, I mean, what going from like you're talking about 2024?
No,
give it-
today,
yeah, from now.
Today.
from today.
Yeah.
What should we get now and seal it?
That's actually
Let me seal it.
Not even seal it. What to hold on to?
Right.
Wow, you know
What's-
that's so crazy. That's a really, really good question. It's you. What's popular right now is the old stuff. What we grew up with, Mario Brothers.
Oh, of course.
Right. If you have a sealed Mario Brothers, you're looking at $1.7 million just
go.
sealed.
Let's
That
go.
means your
Wait.
mom and dad. Yes.
Mario Brothers, what?
One.
Like the
First
Like the
gen.
first Mario Brothers your mom and dad gave you to play.
like
sorry,
on
sorry,
Nintendo.
sorry.
Yes, on Nintendo.
N64.
No,
No,
not
no, no, Nintendo.
N64 also is good too.
Before Super Nintendo, there was just a Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Nintendo. So your
The
mom had
shittiest
Right.
version.
your mom
The
had
game. They're like the game. is what you're
sealed
talking
brand new from Toys R Us,
Right.
whatever. Your mom
Right.
had to have bought two.
about.
One for you.
1.7
Yes.
million.
What?
Crazy.
And how big is the market of fake sealing? Like, let's get
Big,
one and
dude.
let's like make it look like it was sealed, but maybe
There
that
are,
cost me like 40
but
grand.
big.
There are companies that check for that.
Yeah, of course.
There's a company called WADA,
Okay.
WADA Grading, and also CGC, which are very professional in what
What's
they're-
the other one? PSA.
PSA is for cards.
For
Okay.
cards. CG.
CGC is one of the leading
also cards, though, right?
they just opened up their their card grading services about, I want to say two years ago, when right after pandemic or so. But they're known for comic books. So if you have a Batman 1 or anything like that, if it's not
So-
graded,
So does that add to the value when it's PSA
100%.
verified?
Yeah.
Yes,
Then
it
it's
has to.
okay.
Yeah.
That's what creates the value.
that's what
When
creates the
I-
value.
Okay.
So I have a great story for both of you guys,
All right.
but you still haven't answered my question.
Okay.
What was the question again?
It was
What should we seal today?
Yeah.
Okay.
what to hold, you mean, not sealed.
Well, yeah. What
Yeah,
should
what
we
to
hold,
hold, what to
on
hold,
that's
yeah.
in mint condition?
From 2024, are you talking
Yeah,
about?
2000,
Yeah.
like within the past couple, like I'm not talking about the first Mario Nintendo. I'm talking about within the past couple years, what will gain the most value over the next 20 years? Like,
Other than Nvidia chips. It's like yeah. So what's
but
gonna
like something that I can buy within the past few years that I can hold. That, like,
I think
what's your prediction?
I mean, my prediction is usually, again, I'm like into nostalgia, so it's all the OG stuff that we grew up with.
So it's
This
hard
is
to
what-
course,
say,
but
like,
what
what
will
is
become
today?
nostalgia?
What will become?
is the question.
It's hard to tell.
Oh, I know.
It is hard to tell. I'll tell you one. You can't go wrong with a first edition Charizard from Pokemon, and you can't go with the Jordan rookie card.
Okay.
You can't.
Those are old though.
I know, but you can still buy them now, right?
still buy 'em now.
So if you're looking at buying them right now, what are they going to be 5 years from now?
Okay.
So if
So-
you don't
so
own
it's
one
still
right
going
now,
up.
you can't go back and be like, oh, I should have bought it 5
You know
years
what?
ago.
That doesn't answer my question. I'm going to come back to my.
All right.
You can have some time.
Let
to
me think about
it,
more of that.
But it's a great segue because my story has to do with the first edition Charizard.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Let's hear
Do you
it.
not know this story?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I got to think on that. What to
So-
collect now? It's crazy.
So I'll tell a story. You think on it, and then we'll come back to this.
Okay.
So I used to be a huge Pokemon collector.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. He's
Massive.
talking to the right guy.
You're
Yeah.
not anymore.
No.
Okay, well,
This
we
is
got-
like I was collecting them when you could go buy packs and
Fifth grade. Like
Yeah,
back in the
fifth
day.
grade.
Okay.
Fifth- yeah,
Like
fifth grade.
me? Okay.
Yeah. So like what's the new Pokemon is the question, right? But
Yes.
so huge Pokemon collector, just like I collected Beanie Babies.
Okay.
I was a huge sports fan. I have tons of sports memorabilia, baseball cards. But I collected Pokemon cards, right?
Perfect.
And my Pokemon card collection was, I'm not going to say second to none, but I would reckon to say certainly top 10 in the world.
No way.
And potentially top 5 in the world.
No way.
And so,
I've been sitting next to a Pokemon billionaire this whole time as my co-host. I didn't even know.
I start seeing that Logan Paul is getting into Pokemon cards.
Okay.
Right?
Very
and I think back, I'm like, holy shit, I have an insane collection. But like, I don't even know where this collection is. Right?
In storage somewhere.
Yeah. So I hit up my mom and I'm like, Mom, do you still have
I heard
the Pokemon
this story
cards?
before. I know where this is going.
And you've heard the story before?
No, I've heard stories like this before.
Yeah. So she goes like, let me look. So she goes into the storage and like, texts me back maybe a few days later and goes like, I found the Pokemon cards.
Oh, perfect.
And I'm like, sick. So I go look, I'm living in I'm living in Puerto Rico at the time, I think. Yeah. And I fly back to LA where my parents are living. And
what year is this?
This is 2021.
Okay. So it's
recent.
So it's like right during COVID. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the Pokemon card collection and it's like, it's as sick as I remembered it being. So I have 2 full sets of first round edition.
Wow.
Plus,
in your binder?
Yeah, in the binder. And I have maybe like an extra 4 to 6 first edition Charizards.
Fuck.
And then like obviously a shitload more.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm
a shitload more of like first editions, right? So I hit up my boy Mike, Big Mike, who's Logan's co-host on Impulsive. And I was like, yo, dude, I have this like insane Pokemon collection. Like, do you think Logan would be interested? He goes, send me like some pics. So I sent him some of the pics. He's like, come over tomorrow.
He's like, definitely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I go over to Logan's house with the whole collection. And he's like inspecting them.
Yep.
And I didn't have any of these graded.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm asking him like how, we start kind of negotiating like, or I'm asking him like how much it would, or how long it would take to get graded, this and that.
A long time.
Yeah, a long time. And I have 2 first edition Charizards that are gray stamped, which is like super rare. Do you know what that means?
Spence.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Okay, where are these cards now? I want them.
Let me get it.
They should be here right now.
The gray stamp.
I start negotiating with Logan, and he's like, I have, it was like 150K.
Yeah.
Let's call it 150K cash in my safe right here. Like I want the 2, maybe the 2 full first edition sets and this gray stamp Charizard. And I'm like, dude, that's like not nearly enough because like right now.
What was the value at that point?
So going back to your ratings question, if you have a PSA 10 Charizard,
Which is the highest graded.
it was trading for like 350,000
each one.
Yeah, that one
in
card.
2021, it was roughly around like it was like at the high 2s or so. But that's the card that you need to have in the collection.
The 10
That's
is
the only
10 is
card.
grading the quality of how it still is.
You're talking about centering. You're talking about surface.
So it's the print and the quality.
Absolutely.
So you can have a
Everything.
brand new card and it still might not be a 10.
Interesting. Wow. Wow. So that's the printer's fault.
It's
the printer's fault.
and the population of a 10 is a lot smaller than a 9.
Okay.
Right.
There's a lot more 9s and 8s and 8.5. So the
Right.
10 is the perfect 10. You know.
Right. So we got into the negotiation and I'm like, 100K or 150K is like not nearly enough
For the whole lot.
Yeah.
But like for a lot of people, that's life-changing money, right?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
for me, it's not life-changing money,
Yeah.
right? So, I was kind of a different negotiating adversary than other people that Logan might be negotiating.
Right,
with,
right.
So, I'm like, how do I, make this sweeter? Like, what what's like, how can I, he's like,
know
dude,
exactly.
I only have 150K cash right here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not giving you more. I'm like, okay, well, let's do one set. He's like, dude, I want both.
Let's do
So-
all set.
I'm like, I will do the deal with you
Yeah.
if and I like went back to my car. I was about to leave. Like,
If you let you keep the energy cards.
what?
If you let you keep the energy cards.
No, I was like, I will do the deal with you if you do a Tesla giveaway with me to promote my company
Okay. Company first. That's important.
and have me on your podcast.
On the pod. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
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 So we ended up doing the deal. I gave him 2 full sets of first edition cards plus an extra first edition Charizard. He gives me 150K cash and does
Wow.
a Tesla giveaway with me,
Wow.
which he valued at like 250K,
Okay.
and brought me on his podcast.
400.
So what I did was I'm on the podcast
Yeah.
and we gave away 2 Teslas.
Pretty sick.
Wow.
Yeah, Model 3s, and it was Christmas, and one
Very
was
Mr.
white,
Beast of you.
one was red, and we got like live reindeer to come. We did a Tesla giveaway,
never
and
see-
you
I
had to
never see
follow me on Instagram,
Okay.
and EnergyX,
Solid.
and him, but obviously
Of course.
everybody already
Everybody
followed him.
followed, yeah.
Yeah, so it's follow me, follow EnergyX, and you had to go to our website and put in your information to enter, like name,
Yeah,
phone number,
yeah.
So you can
email,
retarget them.
and then it led you to we were running this investment offering to raise money for our
like a
company.
WeFunder or
Yeah, kind
Oh,
of.
that's cool.
Yeah, like a crowdfunding offering where you could buy shares in EnergyX, right?
Yeah.
So, but like I didn't tell him that, so
Of course.
So we do the Tesla giveaway, and we get like 100,000 people sign up, and like all of them went on. And then
giveaway.
when I did the live podcast,
Yeah.
we gave away a Tesla on like live
Yeah.
on the
cool.
thing. So like
Wow.
we went on, we like could see all the people lined up, did a random auto counter or like auto number picker,
course.
and chose one person. So did a live giveaway, and we're talking about the story on the show.
How you guys met?
Yeah. And like why I was on the podcast, because like I'm nobody. I'm not like the typical person that he has, right?
Yeah.
And he thought that he had got the better of the deal, but then I explained to him like how the Tesla giveaway had led to me raising like $10 million into the company.
what a G.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which was like irrelevant, for him. Like
that's
he got a
legendary.
great deal.
No, he got
course.
he got a
Okay.
great
Great
face
deal.
like
value
he got
deal.
2
You took all the risk.
He got 2 full first round sets plus an extra gray stamp Charizard for 150K cash.
So what are the value? What's the value of that now? Of that 2,
I don't know.
PSA
Yeah.
10. I mean, it's been fluctuating. It's still.
but it's up there. It's like that's
It has
crazy-
gone up and down, but it has not gone down. When I originally was doing it.
Way to get 10 M's.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's what led to like
Everything.
everything,
Yeah.
dude, everything.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I had already put in $1 million in EnergyX. I'm like trying
Wow.
to figure out how to raise more money. And I did this crowdfunding thing where people could go on and raise shares or buy shares.
Yeah.
And then I was like, how do I promote this? Like I have no audience. And I sold him Pokemon cards to do a Tesla giveaway and go on his podcast. And it was like, boom. Like,
That's genius.
yeah.
That's great.
So that was,
Very
that's
successful.
my Pokemon.
But didn't you say you have 5
Charizard.
more Charizards? Or 4 more left?
I do have, still have some left.
Very smart. We need to get them graded immediately.
All right.
We
yeah.
should do
got
that.
it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, you waited too long. And then back to
I
your
might have waited too long, but I was like,
You
at
still
the
get graded.
time-
You're fine. You can
Yeah,
still.
what's the market now? I was like, at the time, I was like, there is no bigger buyer than Logan Paul. Like, nobody willing to spend that. I was like, I have to do this deal. Like,
I mean, Logan's
but-
perfect. We had him on the show. King of Collectibles.
Okay.
Season 1 just aired. Last year. It's
right.
around, and now
what's the show?
King of Collectibles.
King of
yeah,
Collectibles. He's on a Netflix
Okay.
show about it.
It's surrounded with Goldin Auctions, right? So if you had
Yeah,
let's say,
I've watched the Netflix
perfect.
Gold
So
Auction.
King,
So
King
sick.
Gold is my boss, and he's
sweet.
amazing team and everything like that. So if you have a collection, we'd love to have you come on
Dude.
and consign it with us. But Logan is one of our also consigners
Clients.
as well too,
Nice.
clients.
Nice.
And we had him on the show with Ken, and they ripped open a first edition booster box. Okay,
Saw that.
on the episode or whatever, and it was really really epic too.
Pretty cool. Okay, yeah, you guys got a link. Get
Yeah,
those
Yeah.
we'll
graded.
definitely link on that.
100%.
So my favorite, I mean, the dude in Puerto Rico
Okay.
with the house.
Yes, yeah. With all the jerseys?
Bro.
Insane.
Hundreds of millions.
Signed
Like every like,
jersey, NBA player, baseball player.
it wasn't even that. It was like, it was
crazy.
like the shoes that Kobe wore in his last game.
Yes.
Were like,
Crazy stuff.
dude, like the craziest like one-time things, not just like
One-of-ones.
bro.
So Ken went out and he was like, I want some of these. And he was like, no, you can't have any of
Yeah.
these. But, we were able to obtain a couple of pieces, which we were really blessed to
Yeah.
have. So
Cool.
Was the bloody Jackie Robinson jersey on the show? Was
Yes.
that
Yes,
that
yeah.
episode was
Crazy,
sick.
yeah.
I binge watched
good.
the
You saw the Apple computer when I was on it, right?
yeah, dude.
What's
So
the Apple
sick.
computer one?
So he had an original Apple One computer.
wow.
And he collected not just the first one,
Every
every
one.
one after that one
Oh
in the
my
box.
god, dude.
in the box. So that's why we saved
Was
the
it in
boxes.
his basement or like
Yes.
yeah.
Crazy.
Bro,
so
that
we
episode
go
was
to assess
bananas.
this, right?
Yeah.
And then we're like, we need to have this, right? Because Steve Jobs he didn't sign a lot.
Okay.
But there was only about a first 50 of the first Apple One computers that were not hand written, but it was like that was like his signature, right? So
Yeah.
he numbered them. So we had that, and I was like, "Oh, this is great. Let's get this to auction, immediately." And he's like, "Oh, well, why don't you come down to my basement and let me show you what else I have?" Every computer. What the hell? Operating. He had an old Macintosh operating still. I'm like,
Operating.
still running. He had one Seinfeld computer at one point where they used in the show. He had that specific Macintosh at
exact
one
one.
point.
Dude, you gotta watch this.
Okay,
shit.
yeah,
it's
I'll
crazy.
pull it up.
But
that
uh,
episode.
what is it called again?
I mean, that episode
King of
was
Collectibles.
King of Collectibles.
was yeah.
So what is something like that worth?
well over $1 million.
Well,
Yeah.
for just the one computer.
Yeah, just the one. It's literally was just a logic board, just hooked up to a monitor.
Sick.
It was crazy. You have to see it. But season 2, June 12th.
Okay, cool.
So it's gonna be epic.
What's the most exciting? If that's not it, what's the most exciting or rare or expensive collectible you've ever seen or heard?
Oh, that was one of them.
That's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, from
Yeah.
being a tech to
Yeah.
everything, to see that, I'm like,
The number one. Like,
how
what
did you
else-
even
Yeah.
like to acquire that?
What else
and
could
then,
conceptually be more than that?
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
better than
it's-
that.
maybe
The
like
first ever
Elon
sign
Musk
of-
something. I don't know. Like
Maybe now.
maybe
and-
not.
Maybe like some sort of like Thomas Edison light
yeah,
bulb. or
Thomas
like,
Edison life or the Tesla something like the real like Nikola
Yeah,
like
Season 2, we got some great
really?
things.
Wait, when's season 2?
June 12th,
coming up.
literally
Can
next
you
month.
give a little tidbit?
I mean, I could tell you that the episodes are longer.
Okay.
And we were last season was 6 episodes. This is 8 episodes.
Nice.
But
Okay,
you're
cool.
gonna see a lot of cool stuff.
Cool.
Really, really, really cool
Wait,
stuff.
when is it air?
June 12th.
Dude, so how big of a company is Goldin now?
Well, Goldin now is hand in hand with eBay.
Okay.
That's
Wow.
just that's just a awfully big announcement too, and they've been working on that for quite some time. And proud to
Massive.
say that.
What does that mean? Like
So-
eBay acquired it, or
Yes.
you
Yeah.
acquired?
Yeah, Goldin just announced it about a couple days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really fairly new.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's like really, really awesome to be able to
Be
do
part
that.
of
So
that.
how- so, like-
Exciting.
Just talk about the strategic nature of that, like how, like obviously eBay the biggest or one of the biggest online.
From
auction
my
houses, but, like,
understanding is Goldin is still going to be higher, mostly focusing on the higher end aspect of the collectibles,
Mm-hmm.
and the platform will still be eBay, but it will still also be an option to go through Goldin at the same time.
Interesting.
So, but they're mainly focused on like the higher end stuff. Like
Higher end? Are we talking about cars as well?
everything
collectible.
that, from jerseys to the last game that Kobe played in, all those.
But that was like a big payout, probably.
Yeah, anything
for-
like
for
that,
the
and
equity holders of Goldin, yeah.
so they're mostly
Nice.
known for sports, and they really control that market.
Pretty
So-
How long have
exciting.
you been working there?
I don't actually
Oh,
work there.
anymore?
I'm actually no. I
you know-
actually I'm part of the show. I'm an item scout for Goldin, and that's how I
Got
Fine.
it.
maybe
stuff.
maybe in the works they're maybe
Yeah.
we'll see. We're
An
talking.
item scout. Okay.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
Sick.
I do everything that's non-sports on the show.
Okay, so
Pokemon, comics, cards.
how'd you
Right.
find the Apple guy? If you
That was just a lead through down the he actually does cards as well, and it just so happens that it's just like, oh, okay, I have a first gen Apple computer. So when we're doing the show, it's a matter of finding good stories and good people that surround it, and then they have to be willing to consign that item to Goldin.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. So that's the goal. That's the whole idea. Is we want the
Consign it to
best
Goldin,
items
and then
that we
Goldin
can
finds the
acquire.
buyer.
Exactly.
And as a whole, what would you say is the most lucrative side of the collectibles? What genre? Like,
It's sports is doing really, really good.
All in
Pokemon is, Pokemon can't get a DWI or whatever, so it's like, oh, it's Charizard, but like, Luca, Kobe,
Wait,
Michael.
what's a DWI?
Well, I'm saying is like he's not a real character.
right.
Right? You're talking about an NBA player
Yeah.
versus a made-up
cartoon.
fantasy
Right,
character.
right.
So a lot of people have faith. Like, you let me know if this is correct, but like, let's say an NBA player does
Dies.
get hurt or dies or something like that.
I just went straight
is
to
that
death.
card going to go up or down based
Right.
off of how they can play? Then they're out for the whole season.
Right.
So that does fluctuate the market in the card world for sports. Pokemon is just all in 2021. All of us are buying back the nostalgia. Hey, mom, can you find my binder?
Yeah.
Logan Paul has just bought 6 first edition booster boxes.
Please find that
Please
binder.
find that. I've heard so many stories like, oh, we threw it out.
Oh.
You're not your mom
I
kept
bet.
it. They all threw it out. They threw it in the
threw it
trash.
out.
What did you do? You threw it out?
Yeah.
It's like losing your Bitcoin password. I
Yeah.
can't get into
Yeah.
it.
Dude,
It's terrible.
that is wild.
That's rough.
That's what I'm saying. Your mom had to have kept it. Like, they cleaned the attic out.
Yeah.
Right.
You're
It's
what,
gone.
15, 17 years old? You don't
Oh,
care
he
about this
doesn't
shit.
like
You don't
these
care.
anymore. These are
You don't care about this anymore.
Pokemon cards.
Oh my god. Or garage sales.
Yeah, garage
So
sales.
everyone
just
started
getting
going to
rid of it.
garage sales and being like, "Oh, you got Pokemon? Okay, boom, bam, first edition Charizard right there, bam, $20 for the binder, $20 for the binder." So in like 2019, I was just,
Scooping them
oh my
up.
god, if you just like pre-COVID, if you just like went on Facebook Marketplace, you went on Mercari, and you just saw how many people were selling first edition Charizards for nothing.
Wow.
They were nothing.
What a market.
So then, what caused the pop? Like, how do you like?
I gotta say, Logan really did.
He really did.
He really
Influenced
did.
the
He
market.
did
Really
really
did.
influence the market strong enough, and a lot of people that are with Logan and really boosted this and made Pokemon like great again.
brought it back.
Brought
yeah,
it back.
because that was his nostalgia.
Absolutely. And he ended up getting one of his first edition Charizards from a person named Gary. Gary King Pokemon, we call him Gary Haas. The
King.
If you scroll back, he did an episode of Pawn Stars. And what he did was he brought in this collection of Pokemon cards that he had. And I'm talking 10, maybe 12 or 15 first edition Charizards. And he brought the whole collection to Pawn Stars. It's all live, they filmed it. And he wanted $150,000. And they said, no, we can't pay you for that.
Yeah.
Come to find out,
That they should have.
he kept it. Pokemon exploded. Logan actually was like, I need to get one of those PSA 10 Charizards. And Gary had one. Gary said, I wouldn't sell you one. So Logan flies to his house and says, I got $150,000. Would you sell me one? Let me pick one. And this is a really, really crazy story. I don't know if you know this story, but basically that was his first Charizard. So Gary sells it to him.
Yeah.
But Logan even set the bar higher. Right? So
He
what?
wants that like Pikachu, right?
No,
Oh.
not even that.
Okay.
So he takes this Charizard. So there's 3 companies that you can really grade with in Pokemon or just in cards. Is PSA, Beckett,
Yeah.
and then CGC. So PSA 10 is like the highest you can get.
Okay.
But Beckett has another standard form of grading. There's a gold label 10, and there's like a black label 10, which is like a perfect 10. Right? So what Logan is very smart to think, I'm gonna go to Beckett and I'm gonna try to see if I can get a 10. Gary's like, there's no way, because I actually tried to do that. And Gary actually, I don't know how many Gary has, but he's like, I'm gonna try. But if you guys notice when I believe Logan comes out to fight Floyd Mayweather,
Yeah.
Who's
he's
wearing?
wearing the Beckett 10 Charizard
Yeah.
from Gary, encased in diamonds and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Oh, that's
around
what I was
his
talking.
neck.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he actually got a Beckett 10.
You got the
Yeah.
Beckett 10. So what's it worth when it's a Beckett 10?
Over $1 million.
Yeah. he's
So it's a
saying
$1 million
over
card around your neck.
Yeah.
All
That's why he wears it around his neck.
there's maybe only 3 to exist.
Yeah. But what's the one? So there's other stories about Logan. I don't want our whole
Oh, I know.
revolve around Logan, but he did buy the Pikachu from like
Yeah,
some
the
dude.
illustrated Pikachu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from some dude in like
And it was
Dubai.
fake? You're talking about that one?
No, I'm talking about the one that was real.
Okay, recently.
But then there was like the box that he bought that was fake, right?
Yes.
What was that story?
Oh my God. So basically he ended up purchasing a box. I believe it was Shine that ended up acquiring the box, or Shine ended up buying a box from somebody else.
Okay.
And then he ended up selling it to Logan. And
It wasn't Pokemon though, was it?
Were you talking about the Pokemon box that was
Maybe it was a box.
that was open, and then what?
It was like G.I. Joes inside.
Correct. Yeah, that was basically he bought a first edition box, and it ended up being not real Pokemon cards. Yeah, it ended up being
What do
fake
you
cards.
do? You just find the owner of it.
What was the box supposed to be though? It was supposed to be Pokemon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
There was a company that ended up. Somebody had eventually acquired the box, and then they ended up grading the box. They kind of wrapped it. You don't kind of grade booster boxes, but they wrapped
Determine its legitimacy.
and then that got sold to them, and then it was wrapped, and then it got to Logan, and then I guess there was a lot of controversy about it and where the history was about the box.
Whoever graded that should lose their grading abilities. It's like
There are
Done.
different. Yes, I agree
You're
with
out.
you, right? Because
One
whoever
time.
graded it put their stamp on it and
Yeah.
basically said that it's real.
Stamp's garbage.
But then now they're going all the way far back of like where the box actually came from, right?
Right.
So then it ended up happening where there was controversy around it. So a lot of there was YouTube people talking about it, and they kept on saying like you should open the box, you should really open it. And he's like, I'm not going to open up I think it was a $3.2 million deal.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not going to open this. So they decided to
just not open
and
it.
no, they
to
did
open it.
and then it ended up being
Because
G.I. Joe cards.
they thought that it could be fake.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's easier to
there's a
fake
YouTube episode on
money
that.
or fake Pokemon. Because like
Yeah, I don't know.
That was
it's
a
like-
really
it's like
So-
probably Pokemon.
What's your take on like obviously we've established that the grading companies have a lot of power,
Absolutely.
right? Like, how do you think about the legitimacy of the grading companies and the graders? Like, these people might not be getting paid like too much, but they're deciding the value of multi-million-dollar
So they can
things.
grade like someone on the inside.
Just like
instead of insider trading, that's
Yeah.
insider grading.
Yeah, insider grading.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, nobody knows the grader of all these. Like, like you're talking about like corrupt referees or something.
No, just in a game, right? Like
a
if you know
game?
inside information regarding,
Exactly.
right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, theoretically, sports are supposed to be clean, right?
Of
maybe,
course.
maybe not there, but like, it's much easier
It is.
to have somebody,
It
an
is.
insider grade.
It's subjective.
Right. Exactly.
It's subjective. It's subjective because you and I can look
But
at a
they're making
card and you can
multi-million-dollar
say
subjective decisions.
So that's where other grading companies are going after, and they're now because a lot of it's graded by like the naked eye, right? I'm not a professional, but
Yeah.
from what I know is that from other grading companies, they keep the graders very tight knit, and that's their job,
right.
And they're like shunned from the outside world because it's like they don't want anyone
want you to know.
to be
People
corrupt or anything
manipulate
like that,
them.
and that's what it is. So there are a lot of people, they want that 9, they want that 10.
Is there a grading system for sneakers as well?
So it has not been out yet, but I know people have been developing that.
Interesting,
It's a little bit harder because there's a lot more sneakers, and and they're a lot more produced, right? So how does that scale up? Right, back to your question before, what to keep. There are a lot of sneakers that are coming out that what I kept 20 years ago, if I kept them now, they would be worth a lot of money. So I would keep certain types of sneakers.
Dude, I know nothing about the sneaker game.
I know that the
Give me,
sneakerheads are
like-
passionate
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Give me like the 101.
There's a lot. I mean, Jordan's great. Jordan's been doing it since '85.
Of course.
And he's got every different colorway. You got Jordan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
20
8. Crazy different, right? So you have that. You have Kanye, who's done the Yeezy, right? He was originally with Nike, and then he ended up going to Adidas,
Oh, so
and
he
then,
used to be with Nike.
Yeah, he was. That was the first. But he didn't get the
But
control.
what makes a sneaker more valuable, or like, a celebrity, like obviously, but, like,
Production, I think. Production and also the hype around it.
the hype around
I
it.
think if, let's say you or a celebrity wears a certain sneaker, and let's say they didn't see it before, then people are going to want that. They kind of gravitate towards that,
Right.
Like just like Logan just blowing up Pokemon. Everybody got into the Pokemon game, and everyone's digging in their garage for this binder that they had when they were 4 years old, 6 years
Yeah.
old. There's a lot of sneakers, so I like to dabble into sneakers where it's unique and there has a story behind it. That's one of the reasons why I like to be
What are
around.
those?
Nike SB.
SBs.
Yeah, there's a lot of collaborations that a lot of artists, influencers have on
Yeah.
it, and then they put it into the shoe.
Who are the sweetest? So like, think Entourage had some good
there you go.
episodes.
And they have their own Nike SB.
Really?
What was the artist who did Turtles Nike SBs? Or like
I don't remember the artist exactly.
It's like some Asian artist, like graffiti artist.
I don't remember the name, but it's like an elephant print.
Okay.
But it was
that's the Entourage SB.
Yeah,
like,
one of them.
like
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there was actually friends and family pairs, and then there was also ones that they released afterwards too. But they only had like 3 or 4 or something like that. Friends and family.
Okay.
You know. And again, show's doing really great.
Yep.
There you go. Shoes up.
Shoes are going up.
Freddy Krueger's, Tiffany SBs, Tiffany Diamond, like a lot of all these OG
Really,
stuff.
all these collabs. So you're seeing a lot
Grateful
of collabs.
Dead, you know. That's why I stand behind that company because
Fukijama. Do you know who that is? Is that?
Yeah, but it's
Fukijama sounds familiar.
Yeah, he did some Nike SBs on Entourage.
I think I
They
remember
were
that
like
episode,
gold
actually,
and
yeah.
like some gold box that
Yeah.
Turtle got for
Yeah.
Vince or something.
So sick.
but like that, like Back to the Future. Oh, I mean, I love Back to the Future, but
Yeah.
the Nike Air Max he wore in Back to the Future too.
Epic.
Yeah, you know if you've ever seen the movie, but it's like self-lacing and
That's right.
it was never really self-lacing because it was in
Yeah.
&89.
Yeah.
So somebody was behind.
Just
And they had strings behind them,
But
and
now
they
there's real
pull them
self-
down.
now
Yeah,
there's
so
real
they came out with
self-lacing.
2 versions. And again, it's Michael J. Fox has Parkinson's, so all the proceeds went to Parkinson's. So the first release of the Nike Air Mag, I believe, was in 2015, which is where he is in Back to the Future. So they released this Nike Air Mag, and all the proceeds. It was released on eBay as an eBay auction, and all the proceeds went to Parkinson's. And then they re-released that same Nike shoe that had the self-power laces, where you can click a button and then it power
I
laces.
think I had those.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy. They were.
I remember when I was a kid, I had the
The pumps.
the pumps. Yeah. The Reebok pumps.
yeah. Just get tighter. Like, wait a minute. My feet.
Dude, I tried to start a shoe company.
When a shoe grading company.
Shoe grading company?
Grading would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my previous companies that didn't work out, it was an athletic apparel brand.
First round athletics.
First round athletics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out first round. Yeah.
And we made a bunch of apparel, but then I wanted to get into shoes. And I had some cool designs. It's all about like the gimmick, kind of like the pump or the self-lacing or like something. Came up with some 2 cool ideas. One was called the Pillar,
Okay.
which it had like an air bubble kind of, but it had pillars that were on the outside of the air bubble. They were cool looking. They were kind of like trainers.
Nice.
And then the other one was called the Ellipse.
Wow.
And this shoe was aimed at breaking. I had some fascination with breaking the 2-hour marathon record. So the
just
idea
faster
was,
sneakers.
Wow.
yeah, the idea was that it was this ellipse, you know, the shape of an ellipse,
Yeah.
that would go in the back.
Yeah.
That theoretically could give you some like
Support.
legitimate spring.
Okay. Nice.
But it,
So cheating.
yeah, so cheating,
You
but
wouldn't
not.
cheat during the marathon,
But
but
not.
like, you know,
Cheating, but yeah.
loose rules.
But like what? The shocks?
Yeah.
Remember the shocks?
The shocks, like for sure.
Everybody
cheating.
had shocks.
Or
Hilarious.
the grind plate. In
So
your shoe.
I had this company that did carbon fiber
Yeah.
make this ellipse out of graphene, which is like the strongest, lightest material in the world. You know what graphene is?
No, but this is amazing. This is great ideas.
Yeah, and put it into the back of a shoe, actually the front and the back, so that you had like basically more motion when you ran. I ended up not moving forward with the idea, but I did have some prototypes, and I went to shoe factories in China,
Nice.
and
Wow.
like
Cool.
I still have renderings and like some prototypes
Yeah,
of
pull
these
them up.
things.
I want to see these.
I will.
These,
What are you
these
doing
sneakers.
now? What are you involved with now?
Now I run a company called EnergyX,
Okay.
and it is arguably the world leader in direct lithium extraction technology.
Wow.
So battery material supply chain, looking at electric vehicles as our ultimate end market,
Yeah.
but producing lithium that then feeds into the battery material supply chain. So lithium is the highest growing material year over year in terms of its demand.
Wow.
So started the company in 2018 and developed the technology for the first like 4 years. We just started building pilot plants. We just bought a lithium mine.
Wow.
And now we're building lithium projects to produce lithium for the battery market.
Wow. Congrats.
So you're seriously invested in the success of batteries versus like screw hydrogen versus screw, any kind of other source of propulsion or energy. It's like, let's go batteries.
Yeah. Batteries are like,
It's what powers our phone.
yeah.
True. Yeah.
Like hydrogen isn't going to power this.
True.
Right.
True.
So it's not
a pretty
necessarily
safe
just propulsion. It's more about energy storage, right? Batteries don't create energy. They store energy to then use it.
Yeah.
Right. So any sort of thing that's mobile, like obviously cars are a little bit different than phones, but like, yeah, I mean, batteries are the future of it. I relate the hydrogen analogy to, what was it, like Blu-ray or
Laser disc. Oh,
Yeah.
Blu-ray. Yeah.
it was like we went DVD or like one and that didn't work and everybody went DVD. It was kind of like a binary thing. Not to say that there can't be some smaller like hydrogen market, and hydrogen is used for a lot of other things other than just potentially powering cars. But battery powered cars are definitely like the winners. Like that's kind of been decided.
But
For
2018 is fairly, that's great, like to even do that,
going quick,
it's amazing,
Yeah. It's gone super quick. I mean, there's a little bit of luck involved. Like, I had the foresight to think that this would be a big problem to solve. And I got lucky that like the wave happened behind me. Like all the regulation, every single auto manufacturer pledging to electrify their fleets.
Yeah. True.
Like
Wow.
government, the
Mandating,
the Inflation Reduction Act, pouring billions of dollars into domesticating battery material supply chains.
Massive.
So yeah, I mean, EnergyX is like 100 people.
Wow.
We're based in Austin. We just crossed $1 billion valuation.
Wow.
Let's go, baby. Unicorn
amazing.
status.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Unicorn status.
That's it.
Yeah. So
very
we're on our way. We're trying to commercialize and build huge lithium factories to produce hundreds of thousands of tons of lithium.
But you want to power more like bigger, like cars, vehicles.
Yeah.
Right.
What's
That's-
the main differentiator for EnergyX and the ability to extract lithium than other people doing it?
So lithium has never been important on a large scale until electric vehicles. Like it takes, so an iPhone obviously takes a lithium ion battery and laptops, but like other than
Nowhere near the scale of
nowhere
cars,
near,
yeah.
yeah. So it takes 10,000 iPhone batteries to make one electric vehicle battery.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So if you want to produce 1 million electric vehicles, it would be 10 billion
Yeah.
iPhones. And January of this year was the first month that the world crossed 1 million. There were over 1 million EV sales in January of this
Massive.
year.
Wow.
Massive.
There hasn't been 10 billion iPhones sold in the world.
Majority of which are Teslas, I'm
Right.
assuming.
Tesla actually just became the second
Really?
to
Really?
BYD. BYD
Oh, the
out of
Chinese
China.
one. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if that like on a they're not one to one. Like BYD cars have smaller batteries,
Okay.
I think, and are less expensive. But
It's got to be like probably like it's a process because like even with phones, like back in the day, iPhone 4s and 5s, the battery was very small. If you overcharged it too much, the battery would expand inside, and that would crack your screen. The battery would actually explode inside the phone,
Wow.
cracking the screen, and had to be replaced. I can tell you countless of how many batteries
You had to-
and you're talking about at that level.
Yeah.
Now you're talking
So what
about
does
his
the car
level.
look
You're
like?
talking about a car. It's got to be
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
seamless.
gotta be done right.
Because you're talking about being just plugging in,
Just from
overcharging,
this, yeah.
and expanding.
Yeah.
So I can
But I mean,
only imagine.
for cars, the first car and still cars today is just thousands of batteries strung together. Like
So it's not a much bigger battery. It's
Oh,
just a
okay.
bunch of them,
cells.
bunch of little
yeah,
cells.
bunch of cells.
The first Teslas were 7,000 cells strung together.
That's crazy.
Right.
Hilarious.
And they looked like double A's kind of
Like
a little
Energizer
bit
bunnies.
bigger, a little
like
bit bigger
a bunch of
than double A's.
Energizer
Yeah,
bunnies
yeah.
in there.
So, but for us, like we don't make batteries. We make the lithium, which
Yes.
looks like a white powder.
Salt, isn't it salt?
Yeah. That goes into the battery. So it's the material that goes into the battery. Anyway, to your question though, so lithium hasn't been important ever because there's been no large scale application for it. And therefore, the manufacturing methods for lithium were never innovated upon because nobody needed lithium.
Not a big demand.
So the lithium today there's two major resource types. One is hard rock, like big open pit mining. That's obviously not very environmentally friendly. And the other is brine. So like these big evaporation ponds, similar to what you see flying into San Francisco, like salt ponds, where they harvest salt. And lithium is one of those salts that's dissolved in the water. And so I went down to South America. It's known as the Lithium Triangle.
To Bolivia.
Yeah, to Bolivia, and saw these salt ponds for the first time. I was like, you are not telling me that like this pond is the way that the lithium that is
People are
that we
extracted.
need millions of tons for is produced. Like this is the dumbest thing ever. So basically, I essentially, I mean, I'm not going to say here like I invented it, but what I started the company around, the premise is now called DLE, which stands for direct lithium extraction.
Yeah.
So not using these ponds, basically taking brine, which is really salty water, and running it through some sort of like refinery or
Evaporating the water.
21st century technology that separates or extracts the lithium out of the brine, then you can just re-inject it. And then that's how you basically produce hundreds of thousands of tons of lithium.
And then do you guys have apply for a patent on that process or?
Yeah, we have over 100 patents.
100 patents. So,
Yeah.
let's go.
You're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well. Can you eat lithium?
No.
You can, dude.
You can eat it, but is it dangerous?
Super salty?
No, actually, this is one of the other applications.
I just want some EnergyX table salt at home.
I'll bring a little vial.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lithium, one of the other fringe applications is medication. Lithium is used for bipolar disorder.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that.
Lithium carbonate.
They've done some studies on that.
Here's
Sherry's
what I
excited.
found.
She's like, I need some lithium. I've been a little loopy
Dude, I'm
lately.
thinking about starting a drink where we just put a little bit of lithium in it.
Little
you know?
lithium, yeah.
Like the original Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's
from
better than
Mex-
Prozac. Get
you
you a
know?
little feeling better too. It's probably maybe it's an antidepressant.
It is. It's an antidepressant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you can also possibly do that.
Yep, that's it.
I got a couple ideas up my sleeve.
like it.
It
I
might
like
become a collectible one
Maybe
day.
those ellipses start
Dude, I
coming
was
back.
actually thinking about the most collectibles. You still need to answer the question. I made these Founders vials. I have 30 Founders vials
Cool.
of the first lithium that we produced using our technology.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I have answers.
Hold on.
I have
I have
answers.
one
to
of 30 on my
pretty
desk.
good.
Okay,
Good.
I
And
have
I'm
an answer.
hoping that
Are
in
those-
20 years.
Are those the founders on the cap table? Or what are the 30 stand for?
I gave some to some of the investors
Early
from
investors.
the crowdfunding round.
Oh, cool.
As like, a memento type thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I should probably track who has the 30.
so that way you can verify.
So I can verify.
Put them on the blockchain.
And then we'll
Yeah,
grade
put
it.
it on the blockchain.
Then we'll grade it.
Yeah.
Send them a free NFT so they
It's
have it.
important that the lithium is battery grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lithium needs to be qualified by the battery manufacturers
Okay.
because if it has other impurities, then it might cause your battery to do things that you don't want to do.
That's fair.
What's the new comic action figure that's like
no, but see
nothing?
that's why when you talk about that,
days of
and
that are gone.
those are, it's like, okay, again, it's a hard question because
Yeah.
you're talking about first edition Charizard.
Right.
All these new Pokemon cards that are coming out right now. Umbreon. Umbreon is like, I don't know if you haven't been in the game, but like Evolving Skies, right? There was a nothing kind of booster box, right? And everybody wants that Umbreon. And then slowly but surely it's been ticking up. But originally it was like $140
Is there
bucks.
such thing as a first edition Harry Potter book?
Yes.
There is?
Yeah.
How much is that?
Probably up
It's up
there.
there. It's up there,
yeah.
yeah. The first print.
Right, the first print.
yeah,
First
first
print.
edition,
Yeah, the first
yeah.
print. Hmm.
I wonder if we should start our own, card of trading cards of like company founders. Like, get that Elon Musk first edition. That Bezos card, 1990.
Cards for like
Well,
Cards
okay,
for other people.
you can,
Yeah,
I
entrepreneur
started
cards.
dabbling more of those types of things. It's like, okay, a Jeff Bezos signed card.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
How many Michael Jordan rookie cards were signed right now, and
Exactly.
will he sign any more right now? So what I usually do, like as of now, and back to your question, is like nothing's gonna beat. There's Pokemon's being printed, new sets every other month, year, right? And then people are chasing that chase card. It's never going to be a first edition Charizard.
True.
As much
Never,
as you
dude,
want
never.
it to be,
True.
it's never.
Like-
And the older's still getting older every year that goes by.
That's why I tell you
So
about
it's like,
this Umbreon. You're talking about a box set that was like $175. Now it's like $800 because it's a cool card. It's Umbreon, right? Other
like,
than
I'm talking about like what's the next Bitcoin, dude?
right,
Like,
right. He's
something that
he's
like
thinking ahead.
Yeah,
I know.
that,
So are
like,
they still
we-
making NBA cards every year?
Like
Yes.
what are
So
we?
it's still
What can we
happening.
collect? It's
I like
new.
signatures. I like signatures from celebrities.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do. You know, Mark Hamill's
cool.
getting older. You know, he's originally Luke Skywalker. Is one of my favorite movies in Star Wars, right? So it's just like I like
So
to
get
have
him.
that signature. You know,
Signatures are cool.
You know?
I just sold a Babe Ruth signed baseball
Okay.
for
Pretty good.
$2,500.
Okay.
Ooh, lowballed.
You could have just gave it to
You
us
got
and
it, yeah.
probably get you some more money.
She could have brought it to him. Alex will get you.
Dude, I
Babe
have
Ruth?
cool shit that we can talk about.
Yeah.
I have cool shit.
But ask yourself the same
Like,
question.
what's
I am trying. That's what
You
I'm
know,
trying to
because
do.
I'm like,
That's what I'm trying to
thinking
do.
right now, it's like,
That's what
all
I'm trying
right,
to
do I keep a sealed iPhone 15 Pro right now and hold
No,
that
because
for
that's
20?
old. That's old. It's the 15th thing.
You want something-
What's the first thing? Like
Exactly.
What's the coolest collectible that you have? You would say.
I mean, that collection.
Babe
is-
Ruth was pretty
No,
good.
no, but that
Yeah.
Pokemon collection
So
you
it's
sold to
Pokemon.
Logan is way.
Would you say it's
the
Pokemon
craziest,
then?
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
I have some signed jersey. I have a LeBron James high school signed jersey.
Pretty good.
It's pretty sweet.
Bring it on the show.
If you, what about if you purchase that now? Is that considered something that's going to go up? LeBron James?
Yeah.
Yes,
Of
right?
course.
But something new and fresh that you can invest in right now, that is going
He
to
asked me
become
what-
something.
Yeah, he asked me. Yeah, I'm gonna think about it because it's like
It's hard.
It's super hard. But if anybody would know, it'd be you.
I'm constantly
maybe.
always trying to think about what is going to be the next thing. It's hard.
Yeah.
I just keep going back to nostalgia.
Yeah.
I stopped chasing the new stuff because I
Right.
was like, I
'Cause
rather
you have access to all the old
I
shit,
rather
too.
just buy the new old.
You got to also value your time, right, and
Yeah.
spend it on something. And
Right.
that the past
everybody
is like
everybody wants to invest in Dogecoin, GameStop, or whatever, and it just to go to the fucking moon,
Bitcoin.
right? Bitcoin wasn't anything, but
I know.
right. So that was like at that time you had to believe and not listen to anybody.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
had to be
really
crazy back
You had to be
then.
crazy.
I was looking at Bitcoin in 2013.
pretty early.
Way early. I didn't even know what
yeah.
the fuck it was.
And
Yeah.
I tried to make a movie. So there's this book called Digital Gold. And I talked to I wanted to license the book and turn it into a movie. It's about the founding of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And this is a movie that will get made
Mm-hmm.
from this book. And I just, other things took over my life. And
Right.
now I'm running EnergyX, but like, obviously should have fucking invested in Bitcoin when I was trying to make this movie.
Yeah. $1,000 in Bitcoin then when it was a penny,
Yeah, it was probably like I don't
25
know.
cents.
No, it was definitely under $50 though. But like,
I mean, this past year, I think also collectibles and shoes have been kind of taking a dip. So like, what do people really want? I mean,
Speaking of that, you got us some shoes.
I did.
yeah,
I did bring you something.
dude, I appreciate that.
Let's
I did bring you each something. So
see what we got over here. I want to take a look.
I know you guys are size
S-
12.
Bees,
Our guest
baby.
brought us a gift.
Dude, this is the first gift
I
that
know,
we've
I wish I
gotten.
brought-
And
This
first of
is-
all, I didn't know we were the same size
Dude,
shoes.
this
Teague.
is-
We're the same size.
So these are Nike
Wow.
SB Stefan Janoskis. Okay. It also has a different insole if you wanted to switch that out.
Oh,
a little more
Spence
comfortable.
texted me. He goes, "Do you like Janoski?" I go, "What the hell?"
He
is
didn't
that?"
even know.
You don't know? It's a skater. Stefan
Yeah.
Janoski is one of the very, very
all I
great
know
skater.
All I know is P-Rod.
P-Rod is a good
Yeah.
skater.
I remember
Paul
the-
Rodriguez.
The P Flyers.
Dude, these are
black
sick,
and white,
though. Thank you.
something different.
And
you know?
the sole is cork.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then you can switch it if you don't like cork.
Oh god, that's
And you like black, so I just
Yeah.
brought something.
wow,
Clean.
dude.
Is it the PF Flyers?
No, this is a Nike SB Blazer, mid
I
Blazer.
didn't even know PF Flyers were real. It's just from the Sandlot.
Dude, these are legit.
You guys got a
Yeah.
link with the collectibles too.
after the next season.
Oh, you guys
of
are in
the
for a treat.
Yeah, I'm definitely
June
gonna binge
12th.
watch. June 12th, Goldin.
Yes, golden.
I'm gonna binge watch that.
And
Really watch
where can
it.
people
Yeah.
find you? Are you still iPhone Elite?
Yes,
or where-
I am still iPhone Elite. You know,
Let's
it's
go.
hard to get off that name.
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I know it's a show and everything like that.
The
but,
OG
like,
jailbreaker,
I still
anything
to this
iPhones.
day, I didn't bring anything for your phones, but screen protectors, chargers. Like,
I got
you know,
all the protection.
you know.
I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
This
Alex,
was an
thank you for the
extraordinary
time.
conversation.
Yes, man, you're the
We
man.
could talk forever.
Yeah, we
you know?
literally could.